Now, there's some of you out there who say, this doesn't apply to me. I don't keep Christmas as a celebration of Christ. I don't keep Easter. I don't go to church on Sunday. The one thing that I'm sure all of you Christians do is recognize this as the Word of God. That every word of this is true. I don't know how many times Christians have argued with me and said that every word of this is true, despite the fact that you could find countless faults in it. Every word of it is true. Well, where does the Bible come from? Where do we get our Bible? Who had the Bible comprised long before the Protestant Reformation in the 1500s? Who? Who? Do I have to tell you who? The only difference, okay. The same council of Laodicea, it was the one who first put together a comprehensive Bible. There are some differences between what Catholics believe, or is the canon, the true words of God, and what Protestants believe. Again, these references will be here for you to look for yourself. Now, the Septuagint, which was the Greek translation, was the original Bible, the Old Testament. Many Jews couldn't read Hebrew, so the original what we call the Old Testament now, when the Christians came along, was taken from the Septuagint, which was the Greek translation of what we call the Old Testament. In the 1500s, the Protestant leaders decided to organize the Old Testament, and they did it compared to how the Jews had changed it a bit from the original Septuagint. They moved the material, the Protestants that is, they moved the material that was not in the Jewish canon to what's called the Apocrypha. So the Protestant Bible just divided the books into sections, the Old Testament and the Apocrypha. So until the 1800s, the Bible had the Apocryphal books, even the original King James Version, that later were dropped. So when people quote out of the Apocrypha and you want to condemn them because it's not in this book, it was not that long ago. This Bible keeps changing. It's going to be this Bible, assuming this is 100 years from now, and assuming that people are still going to be reading this Bible, is going to be different than the Bible today. The Bible is constantly changed. So you think it is this Word of God written in stone. It's not. Not. People are changing it all the time. Okay, Catholics continued to have the Old Testament as the Septuagint, which means that there's, in the Catholic version of the Bible, there are more books than in the traditional version that I have here in front of me, this New King James. But so the only difference between what the Catholics use as the Bible and what Protestants use as the Bible is that Catholics have a few more books. As far as the New Testament, the Catholic, Protestant, and Orthodox are identical, with 27 books. This is a Catholic book. Condemn the Catholics, folks. Condemn the Catholics, and you use their book to condemn them with it. if you would just take the time to do the research, if you would just take the time to actually try to understand what it is that you believe, then you would see that you are condemning yourselves. When you condemn people who are pagans, when you condemn the Catholics, you are condemning yourself. And that's why I say that all Christians are Catholics. Now, I said that I would read out of the Bible in the end here. This is from Revelation. Revelation, by the way, was not originally part of the Bible. It was part of the Apocrypha. In Revelation chapter 17, we see a description of the whore of Babylon. Let's look at this. Chapter 17, verse 4. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls, having in her hand a golden cup full of abominations and the filthiness of her fornications. And on her forehead a name was written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, and the abominations of the earth. When a woman is used as a metaphor in the Bible, such as the bride of Christ, it is always a reference to a church. Now, I do realize that in the same chapter later, John is told that the harlot is a city. Yes, it's a city. Rome. What church is in Rome? What headquarters is in Rome that has so much power over the entire earth? The Roman Catholic Church. But the point I'm making here, for those of you who say that you're not Catholic, she is called Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots. Who do you think her daughters are? Who do you think the daughters of the harlots are? The other Christian churches. Lucifer and I, partners in this, are light bearers. We are not in darkness. You are. We are shining light for you to see. Come out of her, my children, it says in Revelation. If you Christians want to sit through all of our videos and you want to condemn us and curse us, if you want to call us names, if you want to pick on us, understand this. You started this. We are trying to teach you. We are not condemning you. We are trying to teach you. And if you want to ignore it, and if you want to condemn us, understand who you're condemning. We are agents of light. We are light bearers. And if you want to wage war on us, folks, a war is what you're going to get.